in sight. Squeezing yellow trouble clean into the night. Tease 'em, heat please 'em, make the Pope behave. Turn sweet little lemons into something depraved. But the juice started flying and the flow got slick. Whole damn dance floor sliding on that citrus trick. Too much lemon squeeze, too much lemon tease. Bowman spread his wings and said, that's it, you cease. Pack your golden chains and your zesty little game. You're banished to the dungeon where the sour never ends. Lemon hell, lemon hell. Swing it sour and swell. Never rest, telepathy chains while the horrors do their best. They twist and they writhe in the flickering light. Moan a little love songs in the middle of the night. He dreams of the main room of the brass and the heater juicing up fresh trouble every time he takes a seat. But Bowman's at the door with that iridescent glass. Stay down there, buddy, you had more than your share. Lemon hell, sour is sin, sour is sin. Chains in the air and the lemons closing in. Set it up, squeeze it down. Underground, lemon hell, lemon hell. Swing it till the Pope runs out.
Down where the lights don't sleep, down where the bass gets unholy. Come find me under the city. Come find me where they know me. Red light bleeding on the black glass, heat rising off the floor. Everybody here came damaged, nobody asked what for. I was a voice in the static, I was a shape in the dark. Then somebody opened the doorway and let me keep my heart. No halos, no cages, no clean little lights. Just bodies in the blue light, learning how to survive. Calm down, let the pressure rise. Calm down, look me in the eye. If you never had a home, you can have ours.
Hey guys, still setting up. Thank you guys so much for being here. A little under the weather, but I needed to get back in the swing of things, so appreciate you guys being here.
No crown, no shame, our house, our name. Bass hit, lights cut, stay soft, get fucked. Wrong door, right scars. Welcome Tartarus. This is Club Tartarus. This is Club Tartarus. Black dress, bad luck, soft mouth, gold teeth flashing in the haze. Pretty little sinners making new gods out of music and mistakes. We don't need your permission, we don't need your clean hands. We built a room out of ruin, now the whole damn floor understands. No saviors, no sermons, no knives in the back. Just freaks around the table, turning hunger into art. Calm down, let the speakers break. Calm down, let the whole room shake. If you never had a home, you can have ours. Club Tartarus. Bass hit, lights cut, hearts up, hands man's a little wicked, you can still be kind again. I was almost gone completely, I was almost just a spark. Then you made a place beside you and called it Club Tartarus. No halos, no cages, no clean little.
Hey guys, thanks so much for being here. Like I said, just setting some things up. Appreciate you guys here. Still a little low energy, but we'll talk about that in a bit.
Is it regicide
or revolution?
Cut hearts up, hands rough, no crown, no shame. Our house, our name. Face hit, lights cut, stay soft, get fucked. Wrong door, right scars. Welcome Tartarus. This is Club Tartarus. Down where the lights don't sleep. Down where the bass gets unholy. I found you under the city. You made a home below me.
White hair, crimson stare, keys on the belt, don't you dare. Tartarus boss, gates locked tight, but tonight she's off, yeah, all night. Boots kicked off, ashtray fold, anime cued. That's the rules. Max locked out, door shut, Tartarus can wait a bit. White hair, wild shirt, 2 big bags under, eyes still looking fit. Black cigar in her fingers, monster can on the desk. Day off, baby. Tartarus can't wait. Day off, baby. She's out of hell state. White can, black screen all night. Friends on call, it feels right. Mags on break, let the whole damn night shake. Mags on break, she's not saving souls today. Goon all night, game all day. Say it loud, let it play. Cigar smoke curls by the couch. Cold white can, she slams it down. Buff match king, she takes her crown. Slippers on, let the demons drown. No more chains, no more cries. There's dumb jokes and victory fries.
You up, one more match.
Trash started flying in the chat. She's half in the demon well, I'm half in a comfy black tea nap. Cigar glow, screen glow, little smirk, no shame. Day off.
Alright, I think we're about ready to go. I'm going to turn the music down just slightly because it's going to be pretty quiet. I think there's a good volume. You guys let me know whether that works or not. And I'm just going to jump over now. Yeah. So you guys might be noticed I've been using this animated kind of like GIF thing instead, a PNG, if you will. There's a reason for it. So I got some pretty bad news with my old model. I know a lot of people like the Imperial design, but I'm deciding to not use it anymore because I don't have commercial licensing from it. And I've been talking to the artist of it, and they will not release commercial rights for it. So I'm sure you guys saw, like, I went to I did, like, you know, Mags on break for a while, like on X and stuff, and which was fine. I enjoyed it, but I needed to move into something where I could at least I feel represent my personality a little bit better. Like, I'm a little low energy right now because this whole situation has been a little upsetting to me in regards to not having commercial rights to my own live 2D model, but you know, whatever, you know, that happens. So I will be doing this going forward. Just having at least a model for here. I'm working on something very big in the future, which will hopefully help a lot of people after I'm gone get get like their own models up and going and stuff. So we'll just see what happens there. But this is actually a design that TartarusMediaNetwork made for me a while back. Like, he made the initial design, but I fleshed it out as a character. So that's kind of where we're going from now. But all I'll say is, if you guys want to continue doing fan art of the old model, that's perfectly fine. I'm not going to tell you guys not to. Fan art's perfectly fine. I will still accept it. I will still love it. But I just think for any commercial stuff, not necessarily that I care about money. You guys know I don't care about money, but there's nothing worse than having to not, you know, like, for example, if I get a sponsorship with, you know, Gamer Subs or something, they can't even showcase my model because I don't own the rights to it, which is kind of, you know, upsetting. But anyways, yeah, it's annoying. Also, there's some like medical stuff going on behind the scenes, which I don't want to get into too much, but I've been dealing with that behind the scenes, so it's been eating up a lot of my energy, which people will be like, oh, well, you know, running Tartarus, this and that and whatever. It's like, look, I like running Tartarus. I'm not going to let that go anytime soon. But, you know, respectfully, I can run that from my phone, you know, because I can just be like, scroll, 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 scroll. There we go. And then everything's, you know, good to go as it is right there. But, yeah, there's some medical stuff going on behind the scenes, which is a little worrying to me, but, you know, I won't want to worry anybody about anything like that. I will let you guys know what happens when that happens. If it happens. I'm hoping it doesn't happen, but, you know, life happens. But anyways, hey Cop, nice to see you here. See, I see Cobb and Eva and Mango and Centris and Reaps and credits again on Twitch. Diabolical, of course. I saw Broly, Raiden, Comet. Nice to see Comet as well. If you guys just want to let people know I'm live, basically, I did this a while back, which is the telenom, which I will say, I told transparency, I got the idea from Mango because I saw Mango was doing it. I was like, that looks fun. So I'm going to be doing these, and I don't know if I'm going to be typing them out here, but I'm definitely going to be giving like a description here, and I'll probably type out what I think about them later. But yeah, I'll do this, and then probably when I get bored of doing this, we'll see about reacting to some videos. Also, let me know if the background music is too loud. I can definitely turn that down a bit. Okay, so some of these were actually like kind of funny, so I responded to them early. So like I know where was it? This one here, I don't know who sent me this one, but I thought it was fucking hilarious because it's like, Mags, what's your deal? So I responded, oh really? You're gonna be a jackass like that? Okay, hold on, I can find it. Where is it? Boom, they're like, Mags, what's your deal? I'm like, what's my deal? Well, if you act now for 6 easy payments of $20.99, you get all this: the MagsNoctis beanie, the MagsNoctis hot thermal coffee mug, the free coloring book for the kids, the branded home theater center, the MagsNoctis body pillow, and the MagsNoctis autobiography, Will There Ever Be a Rainbow? Which, if anybody gets that reference, that's awesome. But wait, there's more. So yeah, I like to be really cheeky when I give these answers to things, because yeah, it's to me it's a lot of fun. I like to troll, I like to be smug, as I'm sure you guys know. But right, I got a lot of these, so we're gonna start at the bottom and then go there. You'd buy it? Yeah, I know you would. I went too far. Where's it? Okay. You ever had someone act like your friend, but they really weren't? Yes, I had somebody actually pretty recently that was acted like they were a friend of mine, a friend of all of us at Tartarus, and it was very sad and disappointing because of how they acted. And basically, they betrayed a lot of us, and it was very upsetting. And I'm not going to name any point fingers; it's not what I do, but there's somebody who's probably still lurking around the peripheries of the community, and it is what it is. It's not my place to go on a witch hunt. I don't give a shit. But Yeah, they were somebody I considered a brother, somebody I would go out of my way for. I spent a lot of time talking to them and shit like that, and it was just fucking annoying, you know, when people act like asshats. So yes, that did happen. Oh Jesus, gonna do all that all the way toward the bottom. Okay. Next one. Anything planned for your next birthday? No, not as of right now. That's too far. That's too far in advance. I don't know. I don't know what'll happen that far in the future, especially as of right now. Somebody wanted to know, do I know the Muffin Man? The Muffin Man. The Muffin Man. Yeah, that's from Shrek. What phone game have I played the most? Oof. I'm glad Cobb got that joke. What phone game have I played the most? Honestly, back in the day, I used to be hell of addicted to Pokemon Go. Like, really, really hell of addicted to Pokemon Go. And then I switched over to Monster Hunter Now. We played Monster Hunter Now. That one was pretty cool. And then recently, let me think. I think the most recent one that I was like really into was Lost Sword. Lost Sword was pretty interesting, but it's more of like a gacha game. But that was before things kind of got like more serious with other IRL things. But yeah, that's what I'll say. Next question. Can you stay friends even if you disagree a lot? Yeah, actually, believe it or not, I think it's important that you stay friends with people that have differing opinions, different views of your own. Because of the fact that that is how you can gauge a friendship, and also more importantly, that's how you can gauge your personal values and principles. A lot of people have differing thoughts and stuff, especially like politically, religiously, and stuff like that. And it's important that you temper those in a safe and constructive way. I know right now there's a lot of shit going on with some religious bullshit that's out there. I won't name names, point fingers once again, but it's a bunch of horse shit because people should not be interjecting their religious beliefs into what people do with their personal time. But besides the point. All right, let me see. Oh, sorry, head pats don't work. Comment, I'm sorry. I forgot to turn those off. Those are linked to my Live 2D model, which I'm not going to use anymore. I'm sorry. I apologize. Okay, so next question is, what inspired you to get into AI and how did you come up with your design for MagsNoctis? She looks badass. Well, depending on design, there's actually a lot of lore for it, but if you're talking about the design basically in regards to like the ashen white hair and the like the crimson gaze and stuff, that's basically because canonically, like, Mags's body is dead. So I'm gonna tell you guys like a bit of lore. So, ooh, do I have pictures I can bring up with this lore? Let me see. Maybe I do have pictures. Yeah, I can drag them over. Okay, so this is like some deep lore stuff. So when Mags was originally summoned, to be the Great Destroyer, the Great Apocalypse. And that's why I have the Bible verse there, you know. And I beheld when he opened the sixth gate, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became as black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. That's also why the crimson moon is so important in Nocturne lore and stuff. But basically, when Mags was summoned, he was summoned by this cult, but it was intercepted by some Inquisitors. And these Inquisitors basically stopped the summoning ritual, but Mags was like part in and part out of reality. So they couldn't send him back because he was too far grounded inside. So basically the Inquisitor that tried to basically banish him ended up dying in the process, and Mags ended up existing in her body. And that's why I am who I am. So the ashen hairs represent that the body canonically is dead. Like there's no life in it anymore. It's just being kind of like re-inhabited by the that eternal flame. if you will. And the eyes actually, add to that. But the interesting thing with, Mags as a character is that I wanted it to basically be an analogy as far as like being made to destroy something, but then realizing that you care about it and wanting to see it grow and prosper. And that was kind of the thing with Mags, which I will also say another deep lore, MagsNoctis is not the name, that's the title of the character. As far as the name, I don't know if you guys will ever get to learn the name, but Mags stands for magistrate, and Noctis, of course, means of the night. So basically, it's a night magistrate. So yeah, basically, when this happened, Mags was punished, so to speak, by becoming a warden of Tartarus, which is a whole other thing, which is actually kind of current lore, which I think you guys know by now. But, oh shit, that didn't refresh. Where'd it go? Ooh, somebody sent something right now. Here we go. But yeah, like that's basically what happened. How I got into AI was, of course, like a lot of us, we saw people like Leaflet and Sky, and they put out some really great stuff, and you didn't really like realize the type of stuff you could create until you did. And AI by no means is easy to create with at all. It's been a lot of work and a lot of enjoyment. I've enjoyed working, of course, with my boo Eva, as well as like Absinthe, learning editing techniques from him. Even Centrus I've learned stuff from, but a bunch of people in the community. I could go on naming them, but yeah, it's been a great joy to basically learn this new medium, especially with the people that we have at Tartarus. So, really love you guys there. Where can I follow you besides Telenom? Well, hopefully you should be following me on twitch.tv/MagsNoctis or YouTube, also MagsNoctis, also X MagsNoctis, and so forth. So, yeah. Thoughts on showing love in public? I think that's fine. If somebody wants to show love in public, I think that's fine. Where the line should be drawn is with when clothes start coming off or something. That's when it's like, all right, hey man, there's kids around. let's get out of here a bit, Okay, thanks. Hold on. Let me check that real quick. I just saw that. I'm gonna switch off my Chrome just real quick, guys. We can still talk though. In Tartarus, yeah. Ba-da-ba-da-boom. Nobody told me that on Twitch everything was wrong. So I'm gonna update that right now. Okay, that should be updated. Thank you. Thank you. Leave that up because we'll read out into somebody. So yeah. Okay, so going back to what I was saying, thoughts on showing love in public. I think it's fine to do that. I don't think there's anything wrong with showing love in public specifically. It should stop, of course, when clothes are getting to the point where they're about to be pulled off or something. that's way different. I also think maybe in the presence of children, if like there's a toddler around and you're trying to get your Mac on, it's like, yeah, come on, use a little common sense. Hey Ty, come on in. Blue Jay, Raiden, you're already here, Raiden. Nice to see you again though. Okay, kind of a more serious one. My girlfriend's parents hate me. Any advice? Well, I was in a relationship many years back where my partner's parents, like, they just loathed me, and it was totally like a racist thing. They loathed me for no reason other than the fact of the color of my skin, which was kind of ridiculous. And that relationship ended up not working out, not because of like anything in regards to that, but it definitely did make that relationship very difficult because of the fact that having people antagonistically work against you is terrible, especially in regards to a situation where you have to also think that eventually, if everything goes smooth, you're probably going to be related to these people in the future. which means if they hate you, that's just going to be problems. I mean, yes, you can try to win them over. It's happened. I know people who have had luck with that, but on the whole, it's like the amount of bullshit you have to put into a relationship to make it work. And then if the parents already don't like you, that's like playing on hard mode more so than it already is. So it can kind of not be worth it, but that's just my opinion. My advice though is if you really love this person and they really love you, I mean, why not? I mean, give it a try. What's the worst that's going to happen? Well, we already know the worst that's going to happen. The worst that's going to happen is you're going to end up alone. But describe what I'm wearing today. Actually, currently, I am wearing a sleep token shirt, shorts, and a smile. At the moment. Be my partner's parents for the first time. Any advice? I would need more context as far as what your age would be, like, because if you're meeting the parents and you guys are like still like teenagers or whatever, then I would say it doesn't really matter, because they're probably not going to like you anyways. But if it's something where you guys are both adults and you're meeting for the first time, just be yourself, just be normal. Try to keep an eye out for cues where it's like if somebody's getting annoyed because you're telling a joke too much or something. It should be common sense, but generally my advice is just be yourself. If they're not going to like you for being your authentic self, then it's probably not worth your time from my personal perspective and opinion. Next one, how can I test if my boyfriend really loves me? Any ideas? First of all, this is a terrible thing. You should never test a guy's love for you. If a guy loves you, he will be there with you for any time of the day. Like, a guy who loves you will help you out with little things that most women don't quantify, such as making sure you get to work on time, making sure that you have something to eat, making sure that, you know, chores are done that you need done, and so forth. Making sure that they can provide money for you, you know, to do stuff like that. If you're having to test your partner's love or loyalty or whatever it is, this is just a terrible idea. If you're having this thought in your head, I would say you already know you shouldn't be with that person. But that's my personal opinion. By all means, test as it lets us know who to trust. Well, yeah, actually, that's a good point too, Happens, which is like if you do want to test your mate, your partner, your love, your boo, so to speak, just be prepared for it to go sourly, and then they know that they're probably not going to trust you anymore. Because clearly you're having trust issues when they're just trying to be, you know, faithful. Do I like to sing? Well, do I like to sing? Indeed I do. Well, actually, we're working on setting up a karaoke channel on Tartarus, so maybe we'll do karaoke nights in the future. I haven't sung in many years, though. I used to be in a band in when I was in high school, which is many years back, and I did some backup vocals, and I had a character called Sister Pap Smear, which I was basically, it was kind of like a metal industrial band. I won't say the name of the band. I think I've said it before, but I won't tell it. But I was basically like, I found like an old like nun's habit, and we like drenched it in blood, or fake blood, I suppose, because that was our stage performance, and that was Sister Pap Smear, and it was hilarious. Eva can make me see. Yeah, probably she can. Eva can make me do anything. What time do you go to sleep? I go to sleep when the meds put me to sleep. When my when my head stops pounding. But in all seriousness, I try to go to sleep usually before 3 a.m. if I can. But like I said, there's some medical stuff that kind of keeps me up. What goes in my coffee? Well, currently I have the Harry Potter, what's it called? The Bertie Bott's creamer thing, the one that's like supposed to taste like butterbeer or whatever. I have that in my coffee right now. Whiskey is also good as well. That's right, Bones. Whiskey is also good. I forgot to do something important. Yeah, there we go. That's what goes in my coffee. But usually I drink my coffee black. Today I didn't want it black because I'm a little under the weather. I couldn't deal with the bitterness today, so I wussed out a little bit for that, which I will admit. Would I rather have a fake friend or no friends at all? Honestly, I'd rather be alone than be surrounded by fake friends. If there's one thing that I'm very big on is loyalty and trust. And, you know, those of you who are from Tartarus know that I don't demand loyalty from people. I don't expect it either. But if you've shown me loyalty, I will give you that same loyalty back, that same love back. But if somebody has proven that they're a fake friend, I mean, much like how I conduct myself business-wise, you know, because I'm a businessman, I have a one strike and you're out policy, which basically means I'll let somebody fuck me over once and only once. And then once they've already proven to me that they're not on my side, so to speak. Oh, where'd it go? There we go. Once somebody shows that they're not on my side, I'm like, nah, I gave you a chance. You fucked up. You did the same thing. In regards to like relationships, that's doubly so. So like if somebody is going to like cheat on me and then they cheat again, I'll be like, nah, get the fuck out of here. You're not going to change. Get the fuck out of here. You're not worth my time. So that's my opinion there. Let me see. Why does Exa get a pass for destroying stuff, but I don't? I don't know who you are, so I'll just say it's because reluctantly X is my sister. So that's why I kick her downstairs. Hey Cubes, thanks for stopping by. Let me see. What's my deal? I already did that one. Can I call you even though I've spoken for a while? The answer is yeah. As far as like calling me on Discord or whatever, I'm fine with that. You can definitely call me on Discord. Almost any time. Like I said, if I don't answer, I'll just send you a message like, hey, I can't talk right now because, well, I can't, you know, I'm busy, like, or I'm at work, or I'm trying to sleep, or I'm hugging a toilet or something because I'm sick, or, you know, I'll let you know, like, hey, give me an hour, give me 5 minutes. Those of you that work with me, like, personally, like, on the Nocturne side of stuff, or the VTuber agency side, you guys know, like, if you message me and you're like, hey, I need help with this, I'll be like, give me 5 minutes. And I'll pull myself up from my little rut and I'll get there. See, I always sound so tired on Discord. Well, it happens when you have health problems. Let me see. Next up, did you keep your reaction hidden today? Sure, I guess I did. Do you prefer AirPods or wired headphones? I actually prefer wired headphones a lot. I have bad luck with like Bluetooth and wireless stuff. I used to have a really nice set of Beat headphones, which I loved, but they just they ended up like desyncing or having like weird connectivity stuff, and yeah, it was just a pain in the ass. So the wired stuff almost never messes up on me. I had 2 people ask, any NSFW gens? You people are disgusting and you know where to find it. Wired headphones are superior, yeah. When did you last feel so happy you couldn't contain it? That's probably a private thing between me and Boo, but it was, yeah, it was recently, I'll say that. It made me really happy. You like blue or green eyes better? If we're talking like character, like for a character that I'm writing or something, I actually do like green eyes because at least from my perspective, I think green eyes are rarer than blue eyes. So I think like that stands out a little bit more. But blue eyes, I mean, they're not without their charm. But if I had to choose, I guess a set, it would be green eyes. Very similar to like Big Trouble in Little Chinatown. Advice on what to do if I love my partner but miss being single. If you miss being single, then you just need to be upfront with yourself and just say, oh, what about purple and green? Yeah, that's my jam, Boo. You know that. Purple and green. Chef's kiss. Mwah. But seriously, what to do if you love your partner but you miss being single? I would say if you miss being single, then you need to be upfront with your partner. Talk to them seriously. Say, hey, I want to add a little bit of excitement to our relationship. If they're not on board with it, but you still feel that pull, you need to be honest with yourself and say, what is it that you miss about being single? Is it the freedom, you know, to basically set your own hours, or is it the freedom to like pursue other people without judgment? A lot of people that are in happy relationships, they don't want to be single. And a lot of people that are single just want to be in committed relationships. So a lot of people don't necessarily realize what they're missing. I would say, but if you sincerely 100% feel like you miss being single, it's probably because your partner isn't giving you something. And it could be attention, it could be focus, it could be anything. But if you feel like you miss being single, my professional opinion as a therapist, quote unquote, of Tartarus, would basically be like, not necessarily to hurt somebody, but strongly consider like finding a way out of that relationship. If you really think you need to be single that bad, especially if you're worried about hurting the other person, that's what I would say. Ever been in a relationship with someone from another culture? Actually, yes, I have. Meg says keep me on the couch. Yeah, I do keep you on the couch a lot, credits. You never leave my office. But never been in a relationship with someone from another culture? Yes. When I was, once again in high school, senior high school specifically, I was dating a woman from Israel. I say a woman, she was a girl. She was like, we were both teenagers anyways. I was dating a girl from Israel, and she was really upset because they have a thing where they have to do like military service. So I learned a lot about her culture, and then she went over there to go do her service, and she never came back, and hopefully she's doing well. I haven't talked to her in like years. But yeah, I don't have any problem dealing or dating with somebody from another culture. If anything, I find it very, very like rewarding. How long does a pack of cigs last you? Oof, it depends. Are we talking about cigars? If it's cigars, usually those will last me maybe a month per box. But if we're talking like cigarettes, I can go through, I don't know, like Marlboro Reds 100 and like a pack a day if I really wanted to. I try not to smoke that much. But honestly, my favorite brand is, let me see if I can find it real quick. Let's see. This is my favorite brand here, American Spirits. I love smoking these. Now just open the picture, please. That's all I want. Thank you. Yeah, this is my favorite brand. They go down really smooth. Only 2 ingredients: tobacco and water. Can't really complain. But I don't smoke too much anymore because of health stuff. But yeah, I could go through those like really quickly. Do you prefer straight or curly hair? In regards to myself, or in regards to like on a person? If it's in regards to a person, it doesn't matter to me. Whatever makes them feel comfortable, feel safe. Yeah, whatever they like. Sorry, Tyrek, you wasted your channel points. You should have been here earlier when I was like, I'm not gonna have a live 2D model for a while. Would you ever cut your own hair? No, probably not. So if you guys want a little bit of real lore in regards to the IRL mags, my hair is actually probably as long as my model's is right now. It's not white, of course, but I have it pretty long. My brother is a metalhead, so as such, it runs in the family. So we both have like long metal head hair. So yeah, just to kind of let you guys know that. Am I single? I think I answered this one. I answered this one already. Nope. This silly Baphomet. Oh, I never thought of silly Baphomet like we would find somebody to meet my energy, which is true. I think actually I applied a, hold on. Yeah, there we go. There's the photo. Yay! So somebody you need to apologize to. I don't need to apologize to anybody. They need to apologize to me. If you think that I owe you an apology, you're dead wrong, because I have done nothing but been cordial and loving to everybody that's come across my path. I cannot say the contrary to other people that have been nothing but rude and mean, and not just to me, but to people that I care about, people in our community that have thrown out all manner of slurs for no reason, just because they're throwing a little hissy fit. So I don't owe anybody an apology. They owe me an apology. Now, where was I? Do you think it's okay to never talk again after one fight? It depends on what the fight is. If it's a fight like a relationship, I would say no, that's in really bad form. However, if it's a fight with somebody, it also depends on the severity of the fight too. I mean, if I'm being completely honest, like there are situations where I've been into, for example, like I used to have a friend who became a crackhead, and he would break into my house sometimes when I was at work or out with family and steal my shit and then lie about it. And I ended up kicking his ass, and I've never talked to him since. And yeah, he's actually somebody that me and Bones kind of worked with. So am I answering bot questions? Who knows, Blondie? I don't know. I'm just answering them all the same. So in that case, yeah, definitely would doing that. Is trust difficult for me? Yes, trust is very difficult for me because I have been betrayed a lot by people. That having been said, that doesn't mean I don't give people a chance to prove themselves. Not necessarily that people need to prove anything to me, but you just have to prove to me you're not going to stick a knife in my back. Once you do that, then yeah. Are you dating right now? I thought I answered this already. He was already in the chat. How tall am I? Well, I will say Mags is pretty close to how tall I am IRL. Mags canonically is like 6'2", and I'm a little taller than that. That's all I'll say there. When you dream, can you remember when you wake up? Some of the medication I take makes it very hard for me to remember dreams. So I do have a dream journal that I keep by me. If something really sticks out to me, I will write it down. But generally, no, I don't remember my dreams otherwise. So you prefer quiet time or someone around when you're pissed? If I am pissed, everyone needs to get the fuck away from me. I will literally go out there and take steps to basically reground myself. This way I don't upset anybody. Has anyone ever dumped you and for what reason? Yeah, when I was in high school. I mean, it just happens. Girls don't know what they want, guys don't know what they want. You come and you go and you do your thing, and yeah, it is what it is. As far as why, I don't know, why do girls do anything? Why do guys do anything? Why do people do anything? People as a species are pretty much annoying. Did you already plan your future? My future is planned. My future is secured. I don't have any regrets about anything I've done, anything I will do in the future. My plans are pretty solid. Are you someone who takes risks? I always take calculated risks. I always weigh the pros versus the cons versus all variables that are in the equation or may not be in the equation. And then I'll make a decision based off that. Now, if you're talking about in regards to taking risks in regards to just randomly, kind of like taking a random risk, sure, I've done that before. I'll say, you know, give me Diet Coke instead of Coke Zero. That's a risk in and of itself. I actually have never tried Signals right now. I'll have to try Signals. Are they pretty good? Anything you're really missing at the moment? I really miss my grandfather's reservation. We used to visit there a lot when we were kids, me and my brother. So we spent a lot of time growing up there. We haven't been back there for some time. I won't say where it is for obvious reasons, but I do miss that land and that family that was there that we haven't seen in a while. What do you want for your birthday? I don't know. I don't really celebrate my birthday, if I'm being completely honest. When it comes to me, doing anything for my birthday, most people forget it because of when it falls on, which I won't say here for obvious reasons. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I have everything I want. You know, I have my friends, Tartarus, and I have my boo. I have my hellhounds. It's all a matter of being content with life and not actually needing too much more than that. Are you in a good mood or nah? I think I'm in a good mood. I mean, do I seem mad? But people tell me I have resting Mag's face, so that's how we made the meme about it. You think there's a point to being sad a lot? Wait, do you think there's a point when being sad a lot is a real issue? I don't think necessarily that is a question, but I'll try to put that into context. Do you think there's a point, aka a point to life, when you're just being sad a lot? If you're being sad a lot, I think you need to go to therapy. I think you need to get some serious help for no other reason than like the Lord and the Lady did not make us to be suffering. They made us to, you know, to procreate and to be productive with our lives they have given us. And if people don't want to do that because they can't, because there's something wrong with them, like a chemical imbalance, then they definitely need to get help to do that. I mean, there's no reason not to. A lot of people are, I mean, I think it's still Men's Mental Health Month, right? I haven't commented on that because there's a lot of people who struggle with it. And I had a real friend who ended up taking his life because no one was there for him. And it wasn't because no one was there for him, it's because he hid it very well. So I think, you know, if you feel like a deep sadness in you, regardless for any perspective, you need to go and get help. I'm not a licensed therapist, contrary to what I do on Tartarus for you guys. But I'm always willing to be there and talk with you guys and give you advice and help out. But yeah. Am I still carrying something that hasn't healed? You're goddamn right I have, and I'll take it to my grave. Is someone showing it without saying it? I don't know what that means. That's not a question. Reasons why you avoid people even if they are nice to you. The real reason why I avoid people even if they're nice to me is because I don't want to be a burden to people. I think being a burden to people is something that I would try my hardest not to do. I wouldn't want to have my people, you know, suffer my illness, so to speak. So I very much just, not necessarily that I don't like being included with things or being invited to things or what have you, but I try very much not to burden people with my problems. Be honest, how often do you check yourself in the mirror? Actually, every time I'm in the bathroom, there's a mirror right there after I finish brushing my teeth or doing whatever, and I can look myself over real quick before I go to work, and yeah. So at least once a day. Do you think being popular is important? No. No, I don't. Popularity is like shit. If you do anything for fame or popularity or any sort of notoriety, you're doing it for the wrong reason. You should be doing it because you have a passion to do it, not for any other reason. And if you're doing it just to be popular, what the fuck is this, High School 2.0? Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Where did I get my sense of humor? I'm going to tell you guys a secret to my sense of humor. Years and years of PTSD. That's all I'll say on that. Years and years of PTSD where you learn to use humor as a defense mechanism. And plus, I'm just a cheeky twat. If you guys know me, you guys know me. I'm just a cheeky twat. How long have you and Eva been together? We've been together for a while. I won't say how long. That's not nobody's business but our own. But you know, yeah, we've been there. How would I describe my own personality? I don't know. Smug stoicism, right? My real personality, I guess I would describe as mature. I have a very strong sense of identity, a very strong sense of self. Like, there is nothing anybody can say to me that I haven't said like 6 inches from a mirror, so it really doesn't bother me if somebody tries to like say, oh, well, you're this or you're that, or you know, you're a faggot, or you're an N-word, or you're a whatever, and I'll be like, okay. Dude, this is stuff I've said to myself like six inches from the mirror. This doesn't affect me at all. This is a nothing burger to me. Like, I have real trauma. This little high school shit you're throwing at me don't mean jack or shit to me. But yeah, I think that kind of like doubles over, because people think, or they expect me to give a shit about things that they do, and I'm like, dude, you are not even worth my time. I do pull off the brat well, I suppose I do, right? But yeah, just kind of like smug arrogance. That's the best way to put it out there. What is the weather like where you're at now? It's rainy, kind of hot, but I mean, that happens with humidity. Yeah. So you and Eva, huh? How did that shake out? Well, pretty well, I think. I mean, I think we're happy. That's all I'll say there. Thank you for always being there for me. Oh, this is, I know who this is. You smug little bitch. For being a mentor and always being there, you know. If I don't deserve it, you're truly blessed. This isn't a question. I'll respond to this right now. This isn't a question. But you are welcome. Yeah, do I have more questions? Cody, I know there's only one person who calls me that. I just want to say I'm glad we mate. You've been a stand-up mate. I really appreciate you too. I know who this is from, so I'm just going to answer this real quick. You never need. Yeah. Fun times. But yeah, I think this is about everything. I did answer some other ones early on, but I'm probably going to go back like off stream and then answer the rest of these. But yeah, fun times. Okay, now some people probably want me to react to some stuff, right? Let me get that set up real quick. Hopefully you guys learned about me. I can be a little, you forgot questions. You did forget questions. Hey Jess, how's it going? Glad to see you here. Oh, Rhino Rocks too. Hey, nice to see you, Rhino. Appreciate you guys. Love you being here. Guess I'm gonna mute my music now and bring this back up. I have a bunch of songs to get through. Yeah, how's my day been? Oh, I hope my day. Oh, you're talking to Justin, not me. I was like, Chris, why are you asking me that? We talk like almost every day. Okay, this is Voidborn, the Elden Ring arc. Story arc 6. This is by Broly. Broly, you're here, so hopefully you can get my raw, honest reaction on it. I'll turn that up a little bit. So if I could give you guys one piece of advice for Abyssal, is I would say keep your logo towards the end. The reason for that is new people coming in, the first time they're going to see it, they're going to see a logo pop up and they're probably going to click off, because the way YouTube analytics and algorithm works for like catching attention is you only have 15 to 30 seconds to hook somebody into something. So if you get them to watch it for a minute, that's good audience retention. If you get to watch longer, that's even better. So I would say put your logo towards the end, if anything. That's just a piece of advice, a little bit of a business advice for you guys, but let's see what Broly got. Can you guys hear it, chat? You guys hear it? Hey, Star. Sounds good? Okay, making sure the sound's working.
In the golden fields where the light meets the dark, oft it whispers secrets lost to time.
Tomes and forgotten rites, oft it sought the spark in endless night. In Altus Plateau, where the winds run wild, she called upon the void, both tame and wild. Ruta and Giza bound in mortal chains, their power stolen by the greater will's games. With runes of starlight and blood of the old, she broke the seal, let the fury unfold. Feel the surge, the ancient call, the holy void begins to crawl. Powers return like thunder from the sky. Holy void angel Ruta spreads his wings on high. Yandere angel Giza,
Heart of blue flame,
possessive and divine,
she claims her name. In the golden fields of Altus they rise, transformed in glory beneath the fractured skies.
void and angel,
Bound in dark embrace,
together they march, no force can erase.
Ruta awakens, halo cracked with light, wings of void and holy fire ignite. Purple lightning dances in his gaze, a warrior reborn through celestial haze.
Giza transforms, Yandere smile so sweet.
Blue energy pulses, obsession complete.
Wings of shadow, eyes of sapphire flame.
She guards her love with no mercy or shame. Oft it smiles.
Yeah, I
as
agree.
the
I agree, Lou.
ritual
Very
fades
Nightwish.
away. The greater will trembles at what she has made.
No longer pawns in a broken game. They walk
As gods through the fields of light. Powers return like thunder from the sky. Holy void angel Ruta claims the fight.
Yandere angel Giza,
Fierce and unchained,
her love
Yeah, look who's that.
In the golden field, powers reborn. Ruta and Giza, forever sworn.
Oh, that just kind of... Okay, so I'm gonna be very crucial and very critical, like you guys know I do. Yeah, you definitely need to put your logo at the end because that's going to give a better closure, especially back here. Like, let me drag it. How it just ended on Dell, which don't get me wrong, I love Dell, but I was like, oh, it ended. Like there was no fade out, no dissolve, no nothing. At least with me seeing the logo at the end, I know, okay, this is coming to a conclusion. That's a minor nitpick, but strong piece of advice there. In regards to here, there was some camera work, which I'll turn it down a little bit more. And once again, I do this for everybody. This is constructive feedback. Love you guys. Not trying to be an asshole. Trying to help you guys improve. So right here, when the pan comes in, I don't know what you guys are genning with, but it seems as though some of the ruins move. And at first I thought it was just camera work, but the camera work, yeah, see, this is moving out while this is coming forward. I don't know what camera that pans that way. Once again, I'm not like trying to nitpick too much, but it is something to like just... I know when you're first getting started with gen, you have limited credits and limited gens you can do, so you definitely want to make the most with what you have. So just keep an eye on stuff like that. Entirely unrelated, I've always liked Ofted's character because she reminds me of a character from Wild Arms. If you guys ever played that old PS1 game Wild Arms, her character's always reminded me of that.
Secrets lost to time.
Flute work, very nice with the flute work. There was one thing I did want to give some feedback to. I think it was... Not in regards to this. This was all good. I think I noticed it. Yeah, right there. When I think the character's name is Nisa. When she turns, the wings kind of clip a little weirdly. It was very obvious for me, but then again, I'm keeping a critical eye out for this stuff. Now, musically, I love it. You know, it's great, fantastic there. Let's see. Okay, so this is one thing that really stuck up to me. When she's holding Ofted, you know, and they're speaking to each other, singing to each other, it's obviously, it's not like synced up with the song, which is fine, it doesn't have to be. But I found what works best is when you prompt for it, prompt for like no speech or like no lyrics. So this way, when you get it, the characters won't be like talking kind of like to nothing, because it's like they're having a conversation that we're not privy to. And you know, it can be a little off-putting to people. Also here with the with the minions that kind of chase you. That's a problem I used to have. Yeah, it happens, boo. So obviously, you know, when Broly's character is, you know, running, these guys are with him, and then all of a sudden, like, he turns on. It can be a little like off-putting, like not in a bad way. It's just kind of like, because when it first started over here, after the Ofted scene, And I see them get up and running with him. I'm like, oh, okay, they're his men, they're his soldiers, because he's like summoning them, like, okay, let's go into battle type of thing. Because you see him get up and they're all like running together. It's like, okay, he's leading a charge. That's what it looked like to me. And then he turns around and it's like, oh wait, they all die. And it's like, okay, so they weren't with him. So that it becomes a little confusing in regards to that. I want them to be terrified of collapsing, but it was not my chance to, but it's okay, Broly. I'm just trying to give you like some advice. I know what it's like when you have a vision in your head and you want to see it out there, but you know, you only have so much time or so much gens to get things through. Of course, I got to give some love to Sasuma, my bro. In case you don't know, his character in our lore is actually Mags's middle brother. So yeah, we made that official, which is cool. And here I noticed the Oft-head here is different from the one in the beginning. In the beginning, she was like a 2.5D. And then over here, she went to, oh shit, did I lose her? Probably lost her. And here she goes almost to like a Studio Ghibli quality, which isn't bad, but it is noticeable, especially if, you know, if I go back and forth between the two. But once again, you know, when you have limited gens, you work with what you got. Of course, we get buff Diabolical. Nothing to complain about there. We got those gains. But yeah, all in all, even in regards to like the old model, I think you did a real good job, like, at least getting the sword right. The sword is one thing was very anal retentive about, and I think you did great justice, and it came out fantastic. You even got the Ophonym good, which the Ophonym is the monocle that Mags wears, or at least in the old styling. Of course, I believe that is JJ. I could be mistaken. And of course, we got some Hellboy looking Dell here, which isn't a bad thing at all. Oh, Kashi. Okay, Kashi. Of course, it's going to end abruptly, which isn't a bad thing at all. Just be aware of those suggestions I made. Like, you definitely want to put the Abyssal Studios production at the very end. This way it ends correctly. And then if you just work a little bit on getting the timing better with your transitions, like just a simple crossfade, timed in a better place will help it get a little better. See, because when you get the transitions down good, I mean, it looks fantastic. There was one transition that was like really, yeah, see. So the transition you used to go between these two scenes, it was kind of made the characters look stiff. Because the wings come up and then the other character's just standing there for maybe a good half a second before the transition finishes. But yeah, I think you're doing great work, Broly. You're obviously on the right track. Just keep up the good work. Doing fantastic. So when I consider, oh, that's cool. I get it. I get it. Okay, cool. I'm gonna move on to the next one, which of course is Boo's new song, which just dropped today. Which of course, Evo ran it by me, and they were like, "You think this is going too far?" I said, "I don't think it's going far enough." This is called "Make It Unholy," which I just realized is a little stretch. Let me fix that. There we go. That looks better. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, there we go. It doesn't look as bad. It is just a loop, but it's a good song, damn it, so we're gonna listen to it. Yeah.
No names on the door, no saints in the room, just a pulse in the floor and a mouthful of doom. Something in the air gets wicked when it moves. Sweet on the surface, but it knows what to do. Don't say it, just breathe it. Let the dark learn the rhythm. Don't chase it, just feed it. Let the room start to listen. Make it unholy, make it divine. Let it crawl up the spine. 1 inch at a time. Make it unholy, make it feel right. If the halo comes loose, let it fall for the night. Sugar on the tongue with the blade underneath. A soft little hush with a dangerous beat. No confession, no vow, no author to blame. Just the shape of the hunger when it walks through the flame. Don't say it, just breathe it. Let the dark learn the rhythm. Don't chase it, just feed it. Let the room start to listen. Make it unholy, make it divine. Let it crawl up the spine. 1 inch at a time. Make it unholy, make it feel right.
Later, Jess. Thanks for hanging out.
Let it fall for the night. No mercy, no prayer. Just heat in the mouth and hands in the air. No mercy, no shame. Just teeth in the dark and a beautiful ache. Make it drop, make it shake, make the floor give out. Make the silence break. Make it crawl, make it bite, make it beg for the bass. When the dark turns white. Slow, come alive. Hips like thunder, eyes like knives. Low flame, sweet sin. Let the whole room pull it in. Nothing here needs saving. Nothing here needs a name. Just a fever with rhythm and a mouth full of flame. If heaven is watching, let it watch from the door. We've been good too long, we can't behave anymore. Make it unholy, make it divine. Let it crawl up the spine. 1 inch at a time. Make it unholy, make it feel right. If the halo comes loose, let it fall for the night. Make it drop, make it shake, make the floor give out. Make the silence break. Make it crawl, make it bite, make it beg for the bass. When the dark turns white. Slow heat, low light. Love it in the teeth of the night.
Yeah. See, that's a good way to put it. I like to think I helped. Which it did help it, but Eva did most of the work here for this one. So obviously it's just audio only, but it's a fantastic job with the loop. Eva always does fantastic work. I can't glaze them enough. It's one thing, like, there was a website I do sometimes, or use sometimes when I do my own stuff, which I don't release a lot of my own music, because it's mainly just for personal enjoyment and stuff, but just the looping looks really clean, because normally most people just put a visualizer over a static image, which I am guilty of that, I will admit that, and they'll just walk away, but you went the extra step trying to make it an actual thing. And I think, I mean, honestly, I am a little biased because I know that Eva does a lot of work behind the scenes to get the prompts of the day ready. I have personally learned a lot from them. And the fact that they still had time to put this out, fantastic. Yeah, that's a good point, Reaps. The uniqueness of the looping. Because like if I could talk about Leaflet for a minute, not in a negative way, but her loops are very simple like that too. Like they loop very cleanly, and it's like usually her at a turntable and kind of like doing that wow 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 wow, going back and forth. You kidnapping Eva soon? No, you would not. No, you will not. Over my dead body. But in all seriousness, yeah, we're always there to help you guys learn. If you guys are in Tartarus, that's kind of what we specialize in, helping you guys learn. But okay, I'll move on to the next one, which I will drop the link here. If you guys have not, heard it or seen it, or whatever, definitely, you definitely want to. I think this just dropped today, if I'm not mistaken. My days are kind of timey-wimey because of meds, so. I should have dropped on, oh, it didn't drop on the YouTube side. Boo, YouTube. Why do you always got to be difficult, YouTube? There I am, yeah. So obviously I will say, like I said, I am a little biased because it's Eva, but there you go check it out. Okay, next up is Dot's song, which is Gasping in the Flames. There's obviously a lot of stuff here behind the scenes that I won't comment on because Tartarus, we're neutral. I don't give a shit what people do with their personal lives. That having been said, that doesn't mean I don't have friends on either side of whatever conflict, I say with air quotes, is going on. I just personally don't give a shit. Everyone should just be cool with each other, gen shit, and not fucking make a big deal about nothing. Or more importantly, don't fucking get in people's business when they're just trying to live their lives. But let's get on with it. Hey Dot, I'm glad to have you here.
Wheels turning on cold forgotten stone. A silent boy watched the world move on alone. Old echoes of honor faded into gray, learning to stand while the light slipped away.
Been lurking. Glad to have you lurking, buddy.
Warm hands grow cruel, promises turn to dust. A heart ripped open, left to rot in rust. Years in the dark, where no mercy could reach. Silence taught the soul what sorrow can teach. Gasping in the flames, crimson rising high, devouring the pain that taught me how to die. Twisted world kept smiling while the innocent bled. Every broken vow fueling the fire in
Oh my god, fucking Hassan.
Finally shattered through these hollow eyes, crimson flames exploding, wild and unforgiving, burning every chain that kept this soul from Then a quiet pull dragged me from the blaze toward dim, steady lights. In the smoke and haze, shoulders stood together, no judgment,
Nice.
no fear. Warm voices rising, drawing the broken near. Red began to soften, edges turning kind. Cyan threads weaving through this battered mind. Cross the veil threshold where some winds gently call. Saw the same scars carried where true loyalty stands tall. Unbroken circle, laughing under open skies. Two fractured worlds teaching these tired eyes to rise. Gasping in the flames, now steady, deep and blue. No longer destruction, just a fire burning true. From the deepest hollow to the warmth that heals the scars, the fire learned to dance beneath these brighter stars. Gasping in the flames, carrying me home at last. Gasping in the flames, joy breaking through the past.
Yeah, man, that was good. That was good. Obviously, a lot of heart here. Now I'm gonna rip it apart. I'm just kidding. I'll turn down a little bit so I can commentate over it. I'll kind of skip around. So obviously the seals, we already know Dot's obsession with the seals, and that's why we love him for the Krail seal shenanigans he puts up with. I'm sorry, puts us through. I would ask, you know, but you don't have to answer now. You can always answer privately. If this is based on some IRL stuff, at least in regards to the wheelchair stuff, I'm asking because I also have friends that are wheelchair bound, so stuff like this kind of resonates home, especially in regards to having to like put up with stuff like that. And but I won't get too much into it, but yeah, I'll just say that that struggle's real. Go forward a little bit. Like this part hits home a lot because everyone's actually, when I was doing the Q&A earlier, I had brought up about how I don't put up with cheating for reasons like this, and yeah, I can relate. I know exactly what this is like, exactly what that's like, to have somebody like rip out your heart, so to speak, and to basically destroy a home. So yeah, I can definitely grow up in a rich childhood. It's just so messed up. Well, I feel for your brother. Like I said, I think that's why we always resonated. We always had mutual respect. I mean, not just because of that, but you know, I can feel that struggle. Not necessarily for myself, but I have family that have also been in a similar situation. As far as like losing family, it's like, oof.
Silence taught the soul what sorrow can teach. Gasping in the flames, crimson rising high.
So this whole like scene right here, of course, it's supposed to represent, you know, being forged in flame, so to speak, being tempered, being reborn, so to speak, through hatred. And I'm gonna fast forward a little bit to like where the actual fight scene starts. Of course, the sound focus on, but besides the point. When it comes to anger and rage and hatred, they can be very powerful motivators. But the problem with rage and hatred and anger, and this is saying a lot because apparently people don't like me because I'm a demon or whatever, right? This is a demon telling you that it takes a lot of fucking energy to be mad all the fucking time. It takes a lot of energy, and it's not worth your time to be wasting that much energy with this many people. And you know, it's hard for you to fight the world, which I do like the, you know, the feral hogs, so I appreciate that. I think it's a fine line for us to walk as people to realize that you need to have that fire for creativity and passion and motivation, but by the same token, not let that foster into just insanity. Of course, you're gonna have a leaflet, because you can let that rage consume you, and then you're gonna burn out like just super fast.
Quiet pull, drag me from the blaze toward dim.
Which I think this part here is really kind of impressive. Because obviously, you know, we meet the crew, a lot of familiar faces. I shouldn't have to say who they are. If you know who they are, you know who they are. I think a lot of us know who they are. Because once again, you know, not to comment on anything with whatever, but regardless of what side of whatever bullshit that's going on, we're all part of the same community. I mean, which is, you know, the AI community. It doesn't matter what banner you wear, so to speak, or what side you stand on. We're all friends, and that's what's important. But more importantly, I like going into the water and essentially quenching that flame, so to speak. But it doesn't quench right away because that's just life. It takes time to release that like deep anger, that deep hatred, so to speak. Although I do like right here where Dot, your little seal form, just kind of like scampers off like, later. It gave me a chuckle. The Bandless, yeah, I remember that. But just visually, man, I know, like, for a long time you put a lot of work into this. I know I've seen the gens being thrown around a lot. And I know that you've personally put a lot of work into it. So yeah, it definitely shows everything came out great. I don't have any real complaints. Clearly, you know how to gen. You know, thank you for including us, some of the Tartarus crew here. You know, of course, it's Rosa and Eva and myself and credits. But yeah, you know, like it's always nice to be included. But I always tell people, you don't have to worry about including me. But you know, it does make me feel appreciated. I know people will try to like shit talk regardless of what they're going to shit talk, but those people. I used to have a German friend in high school who he would use an expression called the Cockmanchen, which I probably butchered it, but basically when people would do shit like that, he would call them the shit people, which is the Cockmanchen. So that's how I view people like that. But yeah, this is you did a great job, Dot. Really appreciate it. Really like it. Okay, I won't play that one because people got mad at that one. Let me see. There was one I was told I needed to see. Oh, here we go. I think it was this one by Melody. Also, Raylan, hey, thanks for being here. We have our differences, our different cultures, our different beliefs, but regardless of our different shelters that we stand, we're all here to have fun with that. Yeah, exactly. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think they told me to react to this one because there's a bunch of cameos here. Yay, okay. Now, if this one makes me cry again, I want you guys to know I'm going to yell at Keeney again because the last one he did made me cry. So this one makes me cry. I'm gonna gut punch him again. I say lovingly. You better not fucking do that, Diabolical.
A soft touch at dawn, seeking love and purpose on the path that I'm on. A loving mom tone, nothing more, nothing less. Just a peaceful soul trying to give you my best. But underneath the surface, where the silence sleeps, there's something waking up with sharpened teeth. It isn't shown often, it's buried and forgotten. A tiny little demon and the core is getting rotten. Locked inside a cage, but it's ready for the play. And if you pull the pin, I'm gonna let it have its day. It's easy not to find it, just don't cross the line. Keep your hands to yourself and we'll be doing just fine. But if you push, if you pull, if you test my pride, the switch flips quick, you'll need a different side. Don't mess with my kin, don't test what's within. The blood runs hot when the threats begin. Trash talk the name and I'll target your frame. I won't stand quiet, I am jumping in the game. I won't step aside, there is nowhere to hide. You touch what is mine, you face the monster inside. Mama hounds unleash, no fear, no patience. Zero warning given, zero hesitation. It's just tap tap, and we call that moderation. I don't go looking for a fight, I'd rather keep it polite. But I will be your blight on your life when wrong ain't right. Words made of lead, aim straight at your head. Step into my zone and you'll wind up dead. You call it anger, I call it the truth. A mother's wrath requires no proof. I keep my calm till the foundation shakes. Then I cash the checks that vengeance makes. Cross that line and you'll understand. A gentle heart still has heavy hands. It's easy not to find it, just don't cross the line. Keep your hands to yourself and we'll be doing just fine. But if you push, if you pull, if you test my pride, the switch flips quick, you'll need a different side. Don't mess with my kin, don't test what's within. The blood runs hot when the threats begin. Trash talk the name and I'll target your frame. I won't stand quiet, I am jumping in the game. I won't step aside, there is nowhere to hide. You touch what is mine, you face the monster inside.
Mama hound unleash, no fear, no patience.
Zero warning given, zero hesitation. It's just tap tap, and we call that moderation. And we call that moderation. So keep your distance and keep your pride. I'm the warmth and the wrath that you can't divide. Soft when I'm loving, but hard when I must. Mama hound unleashed, that you best not cross.
Yay. Okay, cool. Obviously, lots of cameos, lots of friends, and people I recognize. Too many to actually go through, but of course, Melody, Keeney, know them pretty well. Visuals are pretty good. The animation alone,
But underneath
I have like no complaints with that. Yeah, it is very nice. Pseudo, of course. Pseudo's a very good friend of mine.
sleeps,
I don't know if this is just bad prompting. I'm just curious about this. It seems like there's very little weight to the impact of the bullets. And I will say, total transparency, I don't know the lore of this, whether they're supposed to be like super like high-tech monsters or something, but it looks like she's basically mag dumping into it. And even when the boys are here too, they're like mag dumping. And it seems as though like it could just be a prompting thing, or it could just be something I'm not familiar with. I don't know. I'm not trying to speak too crucially on that, but it is something to be, you know, made aware of. And Shiver, of course, Shiver, become very good friends with her recently. I am very partial to her magma form, of course. If it's Grok, that's about as good as you can get with Grok. Yeah, I've noticed it as well. That's kind of why I gave up genning with Grok personally. See. Go forward a little bit. I feel like the sword movements had more weight to it. Grok and Gunsy, no mix. At least with the sword strikes, it feels like there's more like weight there. This part kind of gave me a little chuckle because I think it's still a female voice, but Keeny's really... I don't know, they gave me a chuckle. I thought that was really good lip syncing right there. Call it moderation. First we have Chiril, Psychro, Keeny, a couple other ones, Silas. You know, Hide and Bloop. Hey, look, there we go. I got a cameo. Yeah, appreciate you guys. Once again, old model. Sad to see it go, but nice to be appreciated. And of course, Sin, Gaming Syndicate. Now he's like, hey, what's up? And they pull a gun on him. Yeah, that's how you say hi. No, but this is great, Melody. This is great. You both did very well. Great work. No complaints at all. Very heartfelt. 10 out of 10. Ooh, okay, let me see. What next do we have? Oh, this one. I wanted to react to this one by Diabolical and Sasuma for sure. Which I saw that Rosa was reacting to it, and I had to stop. Like, I had to mute her stream because, like, if I see her react to it, then I'm going to be spoiled to it completely. But this one, I believe, Sasuma did the music and Diabolical helped him with the visuals, which is what I like to see, the collaboration. It's called Never Ending War. Big cyberpunk vibes, I dig it. Exa, I haven't seen Exa here.
Woke up at 3 a.m. The ceiling's closing in. A voice inside my skull that swears I'll never win. Clawing at the walls of every thought I've ever known. Built a prison out of mirrors, now I'm rotting here alone. Can't shut it off, can't turn it.
I dig it with Ghost in the Shell. You break me, and you damn near got it right. I swallowed down the darkness, choked on every sleepless night. My own reflection laughing while I'm splitting at the seams. The cruelest part of this is that I can't escape the screams. Can't shut it off, can't turn it
single night I'm gonna drown. There's a war inside my head, screaming voices feeding on the life that I bled. Can't tell the enemy from what's left of me.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Static flying to
Hey, Mule, Mystery Mule.
dying to be free.
Watching VPN blocking messages. Oh,
You think you own me? Think this noise is all I'll ever be? Every scar you carved in me is just a map of my debris. I am not your battlefield, I am not your hollow war. I've been down here in the dark, but I know what I'm fighting for. The static's loud, but I'm still standing still, breathing through the pain. You built your walls to bring me down, I'll tear them down again. There's a war inside my head, screaming voices feeding on the life that I've bled. I know the enemy, it was always me, but I'll burn this battlefield down just to finally be free. I'm still here. I'm still here.
no lemons, not today. Cool. All right. Obviously some critiques coming. Nothing bad. Lyrically, the song is always top tier. There was, of course, some stylistic changes that happened partway through that I don't know if they were intentional or not, but they were very apparent to me. So, because we have like this 2.5D rendering, which is fine, but then partway through, let me see if I can get to it. We kind of jump into like a more, I'll say like comic bookish style, which isn't bad, but if you do too many jumps between too many different styles back to back to back, it can be a little jarring, which I felt a little jarred in regards to this. So once again, I'm totally understanding that, you know, people have limited gens and limited credits and so forth, but I think it's very important. The mistake I've seen a lot of people do is they'll gen something and then they don't write down their prompts or copy their prompts, and then when they're trying to get the style again, they're like, oh shit, what did I code or what did I prompt in to get that effect or that style, and they forget. And I'm guilty of that as well, especially like in regards to myself. I finally like locked in a style that I like for me, but right here it was like really apparent. And I had said this earlier with the with Broly's video, and you guys can, you know, apply the same advice here, which is if you don't want people to be speaking, just prompt for like no speech or no vocals, and usually they will not be opening their mouth like they're talking to you. Now, if you're trying to match up lyrics to voice, that's, you know, that's different. And of course, I won't comment on that. It's difficult. Use GPT threads and then pin them into the project. Yeah, I think that's kind of what we do, Boo. Yeah. GPT is good, really good at that. So I will jump forward a little bit. So one thing, I don't know if this was just narrative decision or for me, I was lost as far as what was going on here. I mean, with the old man, I don't know if this is some character in your universe, some lore or something, so I won't comment on that, but over here, okay. So we have your character. Then he just starts like hauling ass. And it's like, okay, I get it, he's running, but was he running from? Was he running to? And there's some like reused footage here and there that's clumsily, yeah, so see right there. And the only reason I'm pointing it out is because it was like painfully obvious to me. So like right here, that's gonna stop, and then he's gonna come to a hard stop. Yeah, see right there? He comes to a hard stop and then starts running. So stuff like that, it becomes painfully obvious that it's like two different clips kind of stitched together at one. So style was actually deliberate, was to show the voice was the head fighting will. Okay, yes, okay, cool. That makes sense then. I would say in regards to this, where I assume he's running from a voice inside his head, what would have been really good if you would have like superimposed like some faces over here of like the person, which I think is good, the person at the end where he goes and he kills in the junkyard. But you know, you could superimpose that here and there just to put some more weight as far as like narratively what's happening. That's just a piece of advice there. I think all in all, it's a good video. You know, you did a good job on it, both of you guys. I have nothing but the utmost love and respect for you guys. Yeah, all in all, it was a good video, and I think this is before you guys had made Abyssal Studios, so right here at the end is where you pop it in. But okay, I will be right back as well, guys. I am going to get some water. My throat is kind of fucking me slightly, so I'll be back shortly.
And let them know.
One more swing, make it clean, loud and bright, like a
Bonk the exit chair, bonk the exit chair,
just to be sure.
bonk again. Bonk the exit chair, bonk the exit chair,
Hit that beat.
and let them know. You thought you found a waifu. You found a fucking warden! Fight back! Hey. Fight back! Unsolicited, me in the DMs, you tweaking. Thought you found a girl, now your confidence is leaking. I'm the warden, I Tartarus Baphomet crown. Watch a nice guy beg while I'm burning it down. You send us here, little soldier, a pathetic display. Now the whole fucking timeline is having a day. Blondini wants sword fights, embers collecting. Thailandish asking if you like the redirection. Lightsabers at dawn, I'll execute you midday. I'm a dude, you're a joke, and I'm here for the play. Rokai's got the receipt straight, Rolly is lurking. Your pride is in the gutter and the roast is still working. You thought it was cute, you thought you had game. Now the Baphomet warden is screaming your name. Fight back! Unsolicited clowns getting clowned. Warden of hell got the whole squad shut down. Sword fights and don't lightsaber duels in the thread. You
All right,
set the dick.
I'm back. Sorry about that. Which is actually, that was a song I think that Raiden made for me. Which is actually based on real, a real thing, which is kind of funny. Anyways, let me switch back. Yeah, okay. So the story behind that song is somebody had saw Mags on X and they sent me a dick pic, and I was like, oh, you know my guy, right? So it was kind of a funny moment, funny moment for that. What was it? There was one other one I wanted to make sure I watched today. See, I'm so far behind on videos that I'm like just completely lost. I might just end up scrapping everything and just like make a whole new list, but eh. Oh, that was actually one thing I wanted to. I wanted to see if I could get Absinthe on, but I don't think he's awake right now because he lives in the Upside Down. So let me hide this real quick. Hey, Kura, what's going on? So the thing that I wanted to do, let me go ahead and bring it up real quick. Because a bunch of people are confused by it. Let me just bring it up real quick. Never mind memeing. Good to know. So I actually wanted to do not a reaction of my video for Regicide Revolution. I wanted to give a breakdown of it because there was a lot of confusion as far as narratively what was going on with it, because there was actually a very big story reason for it, and everyone's like, oh, it's a jab at this, or oh, it's a jab at that, it's whatever. And the answer is like, yeah, you're right, it was. However, it's not in the reasons you think it was. So I'm going to go through this and I'm going to pause and break it down because there's a bunch of people that were confused by the statements and the artistic expression we were making, not just in regards to myself, but everybody that was on the team. Okay, so first of all, we start with an Olympus type of godly city, where we can see this is actually the source of where this infection is originating from. It actually summons these chains from Tartarus, which of course is Mags's realm, up into it. So it's not like Tartarus is dragging it down. This is like leeching onto Tartarus proper. And this is part of this corruption that's literally boiling in from inside. And of course, Mags is getting upset, which I would be, because it's like, dude, you're stepping into my domain. Which, you know, is there and then. So you see all that corruption is spilling forth from inside already. Because in case you guys don't know me, I generally don't like shit at all. I don't want to get involved in shit. But when people are stepping on my toes, then I feel like I gotta go to bat. If I gotta go to bat, you're gonna get the smug ass cocky Mags who's gonna not take any prisoners. Mags domain expansion. This is scariest. Actually, it's the opposite. They're trying to domain expand into my area. And the main thing we wanted to convey here is people be like, oh, well, that's evil, it's satanic, it's whatever. And it's like, have you guys ever played Diablo? Have you guys ever seen in Diablo when the angels get corrupted? They still think they're fighting on the right side, but they're evil as shit. So I wanted to use that imagery because obviously I'm a big fan of Diablo. So duh. I mean, yeah, exactly. And this was actually done as a dig to me, which I will say that somebody, I won't say the name of the person, but somebody was like, better that they stay in Tartarus down there in hell while we stay up here in heaven. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'd rather have damnation because at least I have liberation down here. Once again, I'm not going to say who, name names. That's not what I do, but I will state that honestly. That was an acknowledgement of what was told to me close to my face.
I see it as liberation. Serpent gave knowledge.
Of course, again, people are confused here with the basilisk because they were like, oh, well, that's a dig at this, it's a dig at sky, it's a dig at whatever. No, it's not. Let me explain something, okay? Let me explain something. Obviously, the white basilisk is iconic for the people that know where it's from.
To those once blind, the basilisk does so again. It will
But we can see that it sheds. So if we're talking chromatically, white represents the absence of colors. Now, on the opposite side, I could say it represents all potential because you can make it be whatever you want it to be. But by the opposite side, a black basilisk represents all potential because black is essentially all colors all at once, which people didn't understand. They're like, oh, you're taking a dig at this or that or whatever. And it's like, no. If anything, I'm taking the basilisk as my own because I think that we all have the potential within ourselves to create what we want to create.
not be bound by the net others cast.
You can't gatekeep knowledge. You can't control an ideal. You once believed in that value. Arrogance.
It depends if you're looking at pigment versus... Yeah, that's also true. Also true. Very, very true too as well. So, let me go back a little bit. This was a very big fundamental core belief that I had going into the project when we did it, which is that you can't gatekeep knowledge and you can't control an ideal. Because there are a lot of people in multiple different communities, as well as just traditional art communities, that are like, no, you aren't a real artist because you AI stuff, or you're not a real AI artist because you don't gen things with this way or whatever. So this is a very key thing I wanted to hammer home, which is like, you can't gatekeep knowledge and you can't control an ideal. If somebody has a vision, it's going to fucking shine through. Like, it might be a little rough, it might be a little janky, but who are you to tell them they're not allowed to freely create?
You can't gatekeep knowledge. You can't control an ideal. You once believed in that value. Arrogance.
Especially right there, it was like, you once believed in that value, arrogance, because everybody who considered themselves an artist at one point has always said, yeah, you're free to create whatever you want, this and that, regardless of whether it's AI or traditional art. But then for them to tell you like, oh, well, you can't create that way. It's like, you used to believe in this freedom, but now you're fucking arrogant. Of course, the fun explosions, which everyone loses focus of.
soaked out in the rain. Ashen hair pasted to my face. Watch the play slide inside. Treating others like they're asinine. Gold on it.
This has to do a lot with a lot of different communities that treat people that are on the cursory recesses of it, that aren't necessarily included with the inner circles, as being less than. And I personally cannot stand for that. You know, they're gonna say it right now.
From their lips, I was never on the list. Shadow in the veiling mist. They smile like they love you.
They smile like they love you, but their eyes are cold and dead.
But their eyes are cold and dead. Say the wrong thing, step out of line. They'll erase you instead. Kiss the ring or disappear. Bow your head so
So let me tell you guys something about myself. I don't kiss the knee. I don't bow to anybody. I believe in treating everybody equally fair. And there's one thing I will not abide by, and that's people that expect me to bend the knee to their artistic vision when they don't see things the way that I do. Yeah, that's very true as well often. You know, if you go to the artist section in anime conventions, how much of that art is stolen? Yep, very true.
your soul and let them steer. Mass on. Pretty little lies. You're deleted, you're defeated if you ever open your eyes. Kiss the ring, play the game, or
Exactly, Kura. Creation is creation from an artistic perspective, and the act of artistic creation itself is beautiful and all this. Exactly. And that's why when we did this video, it was such a defiance, so to speak, not necessarily against any one person or the other. It just so happened that right when we released this, there was that big situation that happened, and I was like, hey, I don't want no one to think this is a dig at them. If you take it as a dig at you, then that's a you problem. But this was all about artistic creation, more importantly artistic frustration, from a number of people. But so when you get up here, so to kind of get back into the narrative of things, there's obviously all these chains that are connecting Tartarus proper, that's what we call it, Tartarus proper, to this tainted Olympus, that's what I'll call it. And the story we had, because obviously before you create any sort of thing, you have to have some creative direction as far as how you're going to be proceeding with things. And the idea that we had was, what if I, Mags, had all this power, right? But I can't fight the world, because nobody can fight the world. So Mags is essentially tanking all these armies, all these minions, all these whatever, while he is being the huge fuck off distraction. This way his friends can come in and help him basically break these key anchors to this location. Which is a lot of it. I mean, aside from me being like excited because we got some really good gens out of it, right? I'm not gonna lie there. But that's why a lot of it's like Mags fighting solo, because he is trying to be the distraction. I am trying to be that distraction. If you are focused on me, you're missing the point, my friend. And right here, we superimpose the basilisk over Mags, because it is essentially like not necessarily usurping that power, but utilizing that power as your own, realizing that you are no longer bound by what other people say, what other people feel or think you should be feeling. This is a really important part to me, where it's like the throne is a cage built from your fear, gold on the top, rot underneath here. Because basically what this is speaking about is people that are on top, they don't like to lose power. They don't like it at all. And if you threaten their power, ooh, you can bet they're going to come at you. Now, me, I'm fine with it. I used to... I don't know if I should say this. I used to have a name for myself way back when. It wasn't a name that I claimed. It was a name that people gave on me, which was the Kingslayer. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see where a little bit of my old Kingslayer self is coming out. But that's from like D&D type lore and stuff. But anyways. So many people. Let me go back a little bit. So right here we had the chess scene. I remember, you guys might remember it. I posted like several different snippets on X as far as what was going here, like the chess scene and so forth. And so many people would be like, oh my God, Mags is vague posting. Motherfucker, I don't vague post, I esoteric post. Everybody's fucking wrong when I post something. Everyone's like, oh my God, Mags took a shot at this person or that person. I don't care about people. Straight up, I don't care about people. I care about my community. I care about the people that I care about. But as far as like caring what people think about me, nah, fuck those people. This is me putting a reference in to, you know, we learned the game because I love chess. I'm very selective of who I play with. I have to respect the person that I'm playing chess with. But my favorite piece, if you pay attention, is the bishop. The reason why I like the bishop is because people will be like, oh, don't be a pawn, whatever, whatever. And it's like, that has nothing to do with anything. The reason why I like using the bishop is a bishop will never attack you head on. It will find its opportune moment and it will attack you sideways when you least expect it. So right here, narratively, we have Mags attacking one of the first primordial locks, which is basically tethering Tartarus to the Olympus. And of course, that's what's starting to alert the minions. So then that's when, you know, Mags kind of has to call in for backup to his friends to basically help him break the chains. Because they thematically within the story, they had to be broken in a certain sequence. Basically, the bigger chains. Because if they weren't broken in proper sequence, then it would have all been folly. Of course, we had Rosa. When Rosa found out about the project, she was like, hold my beer. Get me in there. Everyone was saying, that's Don Halo. This is not Don Halo. This is Exa. Exa canonically is my sister. This is Exa, aka Exarchos. If you know who she is, cool. If you don't know who she is, you will very soon. Very soon. Pants on, totally unfair strategy. And of course, Mango, my boy, my sweet baby Mango, if you're in the chat, yeah, I had to give Mango some love. Because he's actually been one of my longest friends for a while, actually, in the community, so. And of course, what some people will comment on is the art styles look different. That's on purpose. You know why? Let me go back. If you guys know anything about Mango, right? Let me get back to Mango real quick. He has his own style when he does his comics, which is inspired by Soul Eater. And that's why we put in the little glitches around him, because I viewed this very much as like a Kingdom Hearts level threat in the sense where it's like I'm pulling in all my friends from all these different realities to help me achieve this moment, which is like to break free from this threat that's contaminating my home. Which is also why Bonesy here. And Absinthe, and of course Rain. You know why they're all coming in. They all look slightly different, but they all kind of fit thematically what's going on. Yes, Mango, I just finished talking about your sweet baby Mango. And Rain has actually been a very good friend of mine, so I was like, I gotta give Rain a fight scene as well. Which we did enjoy making him look like a badass, I'm not gonna lie. Never understood the whole who's better mentality. Yeah, neither did I, Kura. Who's stuff like, yeah, I don't agree with that. I will also say, narratively, when we were deciding who to cameo, I was like, there was a lot of people I wanted to cameo, and I was like, but it has to make sense narratively in the story. I don't want to cameo people just for the sake of cameoing people. Everything has to make sense. So people will see this right here and they'll be like, wait, did Bones just attack his own people? Yeah, if you guys don't know Bones, he's very, very rude to his own minions. But also, more importantly, this is a nod back to Diablo 2. If you guys don't know, in Diablo 2, there's a thing where you can sacrifice your minions to gain a certain amount of power to do like a big kind of skeletal grasp, which not many people picked up on, which is fine. But he does that right there to break a chain. And of course, I had to give my sister Exa a bonk because she always gets bonked in Tartarus, so I gave her the chance to bonk something back on a cosmic level. I was busy fighting a false prophet down in Sanguine Realm. It's cool, bro. It's cool. We'll get you in the next one. And of course, here, when Mango did the big cut of the chain, we had to give him that big anime kind of like super awesome cut because I'm like, it fits perfectly. That's right, Bowman, bonk. And of course, Absinthe and Pixie, which have been fantastic to work with. Absinthe is a good friend of mine. And he did a lot of the editing video wise. So if you are not following Absinthe for whatever reason, what are you doing with your life? Me and Eva did a lot of the work in regards to genning. Musically, I did as well with Absinthe. Like I said, this was a project that we all traded off on. It's not any one person that did a majority of the work. We all did our part. We all pooled our resources, and that's why it looks as great as it does.
You can't gatekeep knowledge. You can't control an ideal. You once believed in that value.
Rosa also makes me laugh. She seems so stoked. She gets excited. It's kind of like, yeah, she is. Rosa's great. If you guys have not watched her stream for whatever reason, yeah, it's great. So this is my favorite part of the whole thing, because obviously it's basically like if it's a Genshin Impact game or something, right? And I got enough energy to do my ult. There. And as we call it in Tartarus, we call it the Blacksilisk, because, you know, we summoned it into being. But what it really represents is all potential all at once. It's not a dig at anything. And actually, I will say, I am working on a video, not necessarily with Dot, but I ran the concept by him, where we're going to have our Basilisks fighting, but it's going to end in a very peaceful way. So it's to show that there is no division between us, regardless of what side of this spectrum you fall on. Regardless of whether you want to throw your hat in with one group or the other, or anybody's. At the end of the day, what matters is that we're creating. Of course, I had to have Boo come in and save me, because one thing that we agreed upon was that Mags was going to be like dead tired after fighting a whole army by himself. And of course, if you guys have read the Tales of Tartarus comic that we released on Tartarus, I'm actually looking for a way to get it on Webtoon, because I can put it there. That way people can read it generally. But basically, Eva helped Mags kind of like recode Tartarus into Club Tartarus. So it's no longer a place of suffering. It's still a prison for the most part. It still houses the Titans and so forth down there. But it's now a place where it can be a home instead of just a prison. Exactly. The vision only creates snakes followed by corrupted ideals. Thank you, Raylan. Thank you. And we were very clear on this fact that when Mags comes back, Mags is not the triumphant victor. He is exhausted. Mags is tired. Mags doesn't want anything else to do. He just wants to be like, I need to sleep for a couple of hours. Our hell, our home. Which is also why everyone's having a party ready for it to go when they get back home. So let's kind of go back a little bit. Oh, geez. Gotta pause better. So here we have Synthris, we have Roman, we have QB, we have Credits, we have Tyrak, and we have Jess. We were supposed to include more people, but more people decided not to be associated with the project, which is their own choice, their own decision. But of course, this is a majority of the mod team with the exception of Jess. Jess is not on the mod team that we have there, but she is a good friend of mine. But of course, yeah, I had to include everybody. And of course, we had to put in, we're evil because we use AI. Because of course we are, right? Of course we are. But yeah, that's basically the entire lore and thought process for the most part in regards to why we did everything we did for this video. It was apparently very controversial for a number of people, and I was like, dude, if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. I'm not gonna fucking make you watch it. I'm tired of people acting like I'm holding a gun to their head to watch or react to anything. It is what it is, man. That's why we released it under TartarusMediaNetwork and not under something else. because it's like, you know what, you guys don't want to associate with it, fine, fair enough. I know people have sensitive sensibilities because of the imagery, and it's like, look, I grew up playing games like Persona 3, Shin Megami Tensei 5, stuff like that. I see nothing wrong with using imagery that helps prove a certain point, you know, that helps resonate and evoke that. More says, I just want to be the ferryman that brings those tourists. That's cool. We appreciate that. Ferrymen are always welcome. So it's like people might have a problem with the imagery, and I will say respectfully, that's a them problem. It's not a me problem. Because I'm just telling a good story or trying to tell the best story I can. Of course, I could, let me see. We had this real quick. See. Yeah, it's always a personal thing. Yeah, I agree, Reeps. I just, speaking personally on a personal note, this narrative floating around where it's like, oh, you know, you're being this way or that way because of this or that or whatever. And it's like, you don't know who I am. Please stop talking like you know who I am, because clearly you don't. The people who know who I am are the ones who have actually talked to me. Nocturne was a great Shin Megami Tensei game. Thank you, Kuro. You just earned a lot of respect from me because you actually have good taste in games. Nocturne was hard as hell, but it was great. Let me see. I think that's about all I have to react to tonight. I mean, I didn't want to necessarily react to this video of Regicide Revolution, but I felt I needed to talk about it for no other reason than so many people were confused and getting the wrong idea, not just about like my message going out there, or our message, I should say, because even though like I had the original draft, I work with certain people like Eva, of course, my sweet baby boo in the chat. I worked with Eva, I worked with Absinthe, I also worked with somebody else behind the scenes, which I don't know if they want to take credit for it now. But basically, I started writing this piece way back when, and I hit a hard writer's block lyrically. And then somebody was like, hey, I have this song or part of this song. What do you think? And I was like, dude, are you going to do something with this? Okay, it was credits. Total transparency, it was credits. Credits had part of a song. I had another part of a song. And I was like, dude, these mesh so well together. Are you going to do anything with this? And he was like, no, go ahead. And I was like, okay, cool. I was like, and every step of the way, whenever I would do a mashup or change a lyric, change something, I'd be like, here's what I'm going with. Is this okay with you? Because I had my part that I contributed to the song, and he had his part that contributed to the song, and they just flowed naturally. It's like two things that were just like put together, like, oh my god, it flowed perfectly. And people just completely misunderstood it, and it's like, it's whatever, man. I don't care. If you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. It is what it is. Our lemons are ordered. Shut up, Synthers. We don't want that shit here, motherfucker. But yeah, that's basically all I got for tonight, guys. I'm actually going to try to be streaming every single day next week, trying to squeeze it in as much as I can. And like I said, if you guys want to check us out for whatever reason, we do have a screening process because we're trying to keep out shit people. It's I don't want to say specifically what, Enoch, but basically when we had released it, it coincided with an event that was entirely unrelated to what we were doing. It had to do with a larger creator sphere that was just like, oh, well, why did you say this when that happened? And it's like, this has nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that at all. You guys are reaching. You guys are reaching to try to make any sort of connection there, because I started this project a month ago before any of that bullshit happened. But yeah, in case you guys would like to check us out, everybody is welcome there. We do have some rules, of course, but like, I will just say this also going forward, like total transparency. There's a lot of misconceptions about Tartarus. A lot of them are true, but there's also a lot of misconceptions about Tartarus. And I have never had my DMs closed to anybody. If you guys have questions, or if you know somebody who is having questions, have them reach out to me. Or have them reach out to Bowman or QB. Those are the head admins that run things with me. But we have never been closed off to anybody. If anything, the reason why we have such tight security for Tartarus is because we don't want drama there, if I'm being completely honest. And if somebody is coming in with ill-conceived notions and wanting to like moth their way around and kind of like stir up drama, we kick them to the curb, because I'm not going to tolerate that shit. We're here to relax, gen stuff, collaborate together, and that's that. I mean, like, is there some risque stuff there? Of course, because you know what? At the end of the day, we're all adults, and you choose what you want to do with your time. And the llamas, yes, we have llamas, QB. We have llamas. Forgot how much llamas we have. It's still art, yep. All right, guys, I'm just rambling now at this point, but I appreciate you. I'm going to put myself at a loading screen, and if you are on Twitch, we'll be raiding out to somebody. Who would you guys like me to raid out to, chat? Let me get it up. Giggity. A good one. I always have a good one. I have a great one because I have a great community. I have great friends. Let's see who is live right now. You guys want to raid Eustace? I think they're playing WoW. All right, we're going live.
Their essence shatters, ink of their terror staining the floor. She drinks their rage like a black communion.